Welcome, everybody. This is Justine Turner.
And I'm Jasmine Washington.
And we are coming to you live from the Whittemore Center at the University of New Hampshire. Today, the Wildcats take on the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers in an exciting first home meet for the Wildcats. Jasmine and I are excited to be back bringing you another season of incredible NCAA gymnastics from Durham, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire is coming off their season opener last weekend at Penn State, where they took on the 21st ranked Nittany Lions and the University of Pennsylvania in a tri-meet. The Wildcats began the season ranked outside the top 36, and after starting the meet with a few mistakes on bars, they ended putting up a solid performance on 3 events, placing third with a 192.025. The Wildcats looked to their underclassmen to pave the way as several freshmen and sophomores stepped up in their first competition. Freshmen Anya Reed and Maddie Harvey each recorded a score of 9.8 or better on one of their events. Reed scoring a 9.8 on floor and Harvey going 9.825 to lead the beam lineup, while Annie Chalman and Gwen Ackerblum had a pair of 9.8s themselves. Ackerblum with a 9.8 to lead the vault lineup and Chalman with a 9.825 to lead the floor lineup. UNH will want to improve their bar rotation and will want their reliable upperclassmen to step up today to challenge Minnesota for a win at home.
Minnesota is also coming off of their home season opener last weekend, where they took on Central Michigan, coming away with a win with a team score of 194.45. The Golden Gophers came into the season ranked 18th in the preseason poll and have had an incredible rise in the rankings in the last few seasons, with the help of standout fifth-year gymnast Maya Hooten, who was an AAI Award nominee for the best senior gymnast in the country, is the reigning Big Ten vault, bars, and floor champion, and has already amassed 9 career perfect 10s on floor. She continued her supremacy in the first meet of the season, leading the way with a 9.9 on vault, 9.8 on bars, and 9.825 on floor. The Gophers also have standout underclassmen to lean on, as well as they have freshman Ava Stewart, a 2-time Olympian for Canada, who dazzled in her debut last weekend, leading the beam lineup with a 9.875. Minnesota will want to improve their floor scores here today, as that was the event they struggled with the most last weekend, to come up with a big team away score early in the season.
The Wildcats are led by head coach Lindsey Bruck-Ayotte, who is entering her 6th season at the helm. In her time with the program, she's been named the NCAA Northeast Regional Assistant Coach of the Year in 2019 and helped the Wildcats to their 3rd Eagle Championships win in program history that same year. Bruck-Ayotte is assisted by 6th-year Associate Head Coach Steve Avgerinos, 2nd-year Assistant Coach Jasmine Estrella, and 1st-year Assistant Coach and New Hampshire alum Alyssa Worthington.
For the Golden Gophers, head coach Jenny Hansen is entering her 11th year in charge of the program. Under her guidance, Minnesota has had spectacular success, most recently finishing their 2024 season ranked 12th overall, highlighted by their qualification to and 4th place finish at NCAA Regionals with a 197.4. Hansen is assisted by 11th year associate head coach Rich Stenger, 11th year assistant coach Geraldine Stack-Eaton-Stenger, and 4th year assistant coach Kiki Parento. The Wildcats will start on vault, and the lineup is as follows: Leah Moreno, followed by Gwen Ackerblum, Serena Mullen, McCall McMullen, Anya Reed, and finishing off with Gracie Mowers. And for Minnesota on bars, we will start with Marissa Jenks, followed by Sophia Wynn, Taryn Crump, Ava Stewart, Jordan Leiden, and we will get our first look at Maya Hooten. It is a dual meet today, so there will be 6 gymnasts competing on each event. The top 5 scores on each event will count towards the team score. All 4 team event scores will make up that final team score.
Again, first up on vault is junior Leah Moreno.
Leah does a Yurchenko layout full. Starts from a 9.95. A solid start for the Wildcats. One thing we've really seen over the years with Leah is her vault has become more explosive, more powerful in her 3 years of competition.
Judges are looking for height off the table along with distance.
See the little hop on the landing and a little bit of a pike down there.
Senior Marissa Jenks will kick it off for the Gophers on bars.
Little short on that overshoot handstand. I was just going to mention that her handstands were really nice to start the routine. A little short on the low bar one, but everything else has been beautiful. Big double layout dismount, just a small little hop back at the end, but that was a great start for the Gophers. We have a large crowd here today from Minnesota. It's so awesome to see. It's a distance here for them to travel. They're loud and they are proud, and it's so nice to see such a big crew.
Sophomore Gwen Ackerbloom up next for the Wildcats on vault.
Gwen is a sophomore, but she didn't get into the vault lineup much last year, if at all. So this is still new for her in the vault lineup. She also does Yurchenko layout full. Great height on that. Just a step back on the landing. A great vault for the sophomore.
Next up for the Gophers, we have sophomore Sophia Nguyen.
Good connection there with straddle Jaeger to overshoot. A lot of times you'll see the overshoot go to handstand, but because she connected it immediately from the release move, it doesn't have to go to handstand. Wow. Dialed in on that landing. Great 1-2 start for Minnesota.
Junior Serena Mullen is up next for the Wildcats.
And this is her first event. She is in the all-around tonight. It's her first year competing all-around for New Hampshire. A nice vault for Serena. Pretty big hop back there at the end. A little too much power. Only the second meet of the season, so as the season goes on, hopefully she'll be able to hone in on that landing a little bit more. A big hop and a little tiny step.
As we get a look at freshman Taryn Crump. Well, last week she scored a 9.75 on bars. And so the Gophers will hope that she'll continue this positive momentum in the first rotation.
This is her first of 3 events for the Gophers. For a freshman to get in on 3 events is huge. She can get experience early on. Huge release moves. Good handstands throughout. A little soft on the landing there. just took an extra little step there. It looked like her knees buckled a little bit, but the rest of the routine was absolutely gorgeous. It's always nice to see when your release moves have some extra amplitude in them, and Taryn's definitely did.
Sophomore McCall McMullen up next for the Wildcats. First duck landing of the day for the Wildcats.
Jasmine and I were saying how it's nice to see McCall get into a few more lineups this year. She was a freshman last year, sophomore this year, was in and out of some lineups last year, is in 3 lineups this year, and she worked really hard over the summer, and it's nice to see that hard work pay off with that stuck landing there. A great job from McCall.
This is the debut routine from freshman Ava Stewart. She did not compete bars last week, so this is her first collegiate bar routine.
We will see Ava in the beam lineup and exhibitioning on vault. Again, a 2-time Olympian for Team Canada. So a great pickup for Minnesota. Gorgeous. Great difficulty. Wow. As I was saying, great difficulty throughout the routine. There's just something about a straight body cast too that just stands out to me.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's beautiful to watch. The technique on her dismount here is different too. It almost starts as a pike. Oh my goodness. That was the end of Anya Reed's vault. Freshman Anya Reed scored a 9.75 last week. She earned herself Eagle Rookie of the Week honors. Is capable of doing a Yurchenko 1.5, just stuck with the Yurchenko full here for today. I think we're gonna take another look at that. There we go, here's her Yurchenko full.
A little high up onto the table. Looked like her hand slipped a little bit, but still a really nice vault.
You can see she had plenty of power there at the end. A little bit of a hop back. Quick update on the scores so far. Everybody kind of sticking in the 9.7 range with that standout vault from McCall. Stuck vault from McCall with a 9.825. Puts them at a 39 total right now.
As we take a look at sophomore Jordan Leiden, Jordan is ranked 3rd in the Big Ten on bars. Last week scoring a 9.85.
Coming after that big routine from Ava.
Bar scoring has changed a bit this season, and so scores might appear lower. Those 9.8s, 9.9s are a little bit harder to come by with more difficulty required by the gymnast.
Beautiful handstand on the low bar. Beautiful release moves. Finds that handstand on the high bar too. Big dismount and another stuck landing. Minnesota is on fire on bars.
Senior Gracie Mowers is up next. This is her first vault of her senior season. Last year she battled some injuries, so it's great to see her back.
Gracie does a Yurchenko layout half. Blind landing, harder to find the landing. You can see she bobbled a little bit there on the landing. Starts from a 9.95 as well. Nice to see Gracie get back in that lineup.
Taking another look at Jordan's dismount. A lot of double lays by the Gophers. Stuck landing. You can see she's pumped up about it.
Big height, big dismount on that landing. When you see it in slow motion, I guess you can see a little bit of leg form there for being picky. Quick update on Minnesota's bar scores. Again in the 9.7 range with Ava Stewart rounding out the top of the bar scores with a 9.825. Jordan's Leiden score has not come in yet. As Jasmine mentioned, bar scores are a little harder to come by. Those high scores, difficulty has just gotten a little bit more challenging. And here is our first look at Maya Hooten. I'm so excited to see her in person. Such a fabulous athlete. So excited she came back for a 5th year. Huge release moves at the beginning. Looked like maybe a little bit of an early release on the dismount there. Took a little bit of a step forward, but that doesn't take away from the fabulous bar lineup that Minnesota had. See her chest is just a little bit down there. This is an exhibition vault from freshman Maddie Harvey. This is a dual meet, so we do have both teams competing. Quite a few exhibition routines. The exhibition routines don't count towards the team score. Early on in the season, you like to get as many exhibitions as you can in, as you can see where people are at, what people are going to score, see how you can play around with your lineups to form your best lineup. Maddie was in the lineup last weekend.
A little bit of pike down, causing that big step back at the end of that vault.
This is our first of 2 exhibitions for Minnesota as well. This is sophomore Sophie Swartzmiller. Didn't quite get her hands on top of the bar.
Yeah, she was close enough to grab, just didn't have that rotation on her hands to be able to hold on.
You can see that quick score update at the bottom of the screen there. Those are the unofficial scores without the last score for Minnesota coming in. We're waiting on Maya Hooten's score coming in. Unofficial scores there on the bottom now with Maya Hooten's score coming in. Great giant full to double tuck. Small little hop there.
We will have one more exhibition performance from freshman Macaulay Harrington before we wrap up this first rotation.
Just waiting for Sophie's score to come in. Both of these exhibition routines for Minnesota are underclassmen. You have a sophomore and a freshman, so to get them to get some routines in is really good for the team to be able to see for their future lineups. Gorgeous routine for Macaulay just until the ending, and it looks like just opened up a little bit early on the dismount. Really cool connection with the toe on to the full in.
Yeah, that's challenging, especially if that toe in comes out early, to lose momentum and sort of do a dismount off of a single tap.
That is going to do it for the first rotation here from the University of New Hampshire. We will come back with highlights and scores from the first rotation as we get ready for our second rotation. Welcome back to the University of New Hampshire, where we have the Wildcats taking on the Golden Gophers in their home opener. After the first rotation, Minnesota has a slight lead with an unofficial team score of 49.05 to New Hampshire's 48.775.
And we're going to take a look at some highlights from the first rotation. This is Sophia Nguyen on bars.
She led the Gophers early on with a 9.75. She had some beautiful lines, some nice handstands in her routine. Fought throughout the entire routine. This is where we saw that first beautiful stuck landing.
And as we take a look at McCall McMullen, the stuck landing of the rotation on vault for the Wildcats, she dug deep and fought hard, scoring a 9.825.
Jordan Lyden's big score leading the way for the Gophers. She scored a 9.875. Again, beautiful lines, beautiful handstands throughout her whole routine. You can see why she is ranked so high in the Big Ten. And that's other stuck landing for Minnesota.
As we take a look at their scores for the rotation, We saw Jordan's 9.875, but they also scored 2 other 9.825s from Ava Stewart and Maya Hooten.
And they'll be pleased with that, improving their team score from last weekend by a few tenths. And any team would want to score above the 49 range to get their best possible team score overall. So a great start for them. And New Hampshire had that one score above 9.8, but pretty solid scores for the rest of the lineup in the 9.7 range. Again, led by McCall with that stuck 9.825. They'll be looking for some more stuck landings here over on bars.
And they also improved their score from last week just by a smidge, but you'll always want to keep improving and going up and bringing those team totals higher and higher.
Both teams are in their touch warm-up right now. We will go to break, and when we come back, we will be ready for our second rotation. Wildcats on bars, Gophers on vault. Welcome back to a snowy night from Durham, New Hampshire, where the Wildcats are taking on the Gophers in their home opener. We are in the second rotation. UNH is ready for bars, and Minnesota is ready for vault. For Minnesota on vault, we will start with the local girl from Massachusetts. Has a large showing here, Lauren Pearl, followed by Megan Steensland, Sarah Mora, Taryn Crump, Maya Hooten, and finishing up with Ava Stewart.
And for the Wildcats on bars, we will see Summer Simpkins, Julia Before, Serena Mullen, Leah Moreno, Zoe Arthur, and Anya Reed.
Again, this is where the Wildcats had some mistakes last weekend, and they will definitely be looking to improve that. Some highlights in this rotation last weekend was freshman Anya Reed scoring the team high with a 9.675. Hopefully they can build before her to let that score rise as they get to her at the end of the lineup. As I stated, for Minnesota, first up on vault is senior Lauren Pearl. She is from just down the road in Massachusetts and has a very, very large cheering section here in the audience tonight. Minnesota typically does not go against New Hampshire in the regular season, so I'm assuming that it is her senior season. Maybe they decided to bring her home before she graduates and allow her to compete in front of her home crowd. And we will see her on 3 events tonight. She starts with a very nice Yurchenko full, lots of power on her vault as well. Big hop back on the landing, but you gotta think there's maybe some extra excitement there. Again, competing in front of her crew tonight. Just a slight little pike in her hips there, causing her to take that hop back.
All right, our first look tonight at senior Summer Simpkins.
Summer started with that release move to the high bar. Lots of little leg form shaping throughout. Going for the handstands has been a little bit shy on a couple, a little bit over on a couple, but finds that dismount. That is the last thing the judges see, so leaves a solid impression in their minds.
Yeah, she sometimes swings in a rushed manner that affects some of those body shapings, but overall, a great first leadoff routine from Summer. Junior Megan Steensland up next for the Gophers.
Beautiful Yurchenko fall, lots of height, small little step back at the end. Her toe point is beautiful. It's hard to point your toes in a vault.
Even the landing just looks soft and
I was going to say, it's hard to be graceful in a vault, and her vault is almost graceful. It's beautiful.
We see Lindsay, head coach, giving Julia some last-minute tips and tricks and reminders before she gets started with her routine. You see Julia sort of doing some mental cues, mental and physical cues as she walks through her routine before she actually does it.
Julia is an upperclassman, transferred to UNH, I think midway through her collegiate career, and hasn't solidified herself in any lineups yet. Is trying to do that this year, and we'll see her on a couple of events and maybe exhibition a little bit here. Hoping to have a solid bar routine here.
A little bit of a wait here, so Julia and her teammates doing the best to distract.
Missed her toes there. Was not supposed to do that extra skill, but was able to recover. Definitely close on that release move there. Is really going for the handstands. Was just not able to pull that through. Coach Steve just trying to talk her through the rest of the routine. A unique dismount, clear hip to toe front pike half. And you can see her disappointment. She was really hoping for a hit set there.
Three-part connection there to wrap up Julia's routine as we look at Sarah Moran. Great height. Great height.
Yeah, she almost rocketed off our screen and then stuck the landing. That was beautiful vault. First three vaults, all Yurchenko fulls, all very different. Oh, slight little movement in her foot there. In slow motion, but the judges aren't watching it in slow motion. Still a great vault. We might wait a little longer for the bar score, but it looks like we are ready for junior Serena Mullen. Again, she is New Hampshire's all-arounder tonight. This is a new event for Serena. She was solidly in 3 lineups last year and worked her way into the bar lineup this year. A little bit of leg form on those first 2 release moves. A little shy on the handstand before the dismount, but finds the landing.
Serena had an error last week, and so this is a big routine for her, a big moment, sort of solidifying that she can be in a bar lineup.
Yeah, another girl that's worked really, really hard. Freshman Taryn Crump. Wow. It's our first 10-0 vault that we have seen. Yurchenko 1.5. Just a slight little step there at the end. Super height again.
We take another look. Great height. Could get a little bit farther away from the table. Definitely something that judges will take a little bit of a deduction for, but a really wonderful vault.
And she'll be pleased. I'm not sure what happened last weekend, but the score was definitely not reflective of that beautiful vault that we saw. So.
Junior Leah Moreno up next for the Wildcats.
And Leah was the leadoff position for a long time. She was in a lineup with a lot of seniors last year and has worked her way back in the lineup. I think they're hoping that maybe her score can improve, that they can build upon some other scores prior to her. You see she does have some beautiful lines, has really worked on getting that overshoot closer to handstand. Maybe a little shy on that handstand there. And find the dismount and another stuck landing.
The Wildcats are excited because it was rough last week on bars, so it's really great to see that they went back into the gym, they made some changes and improvements on things that they needed to, and they're coming out and able to hit some successful routines. Fought hard for that landing.
And on vault, this is freshman Ava Stewart. Again, another 10-0 vault. Was not in the vault lineup last weekend. That is her first time competing vault. Yurchenko 1.5, 10.0, absolutely beautiful. Just a slight little step on the end there. But when you can have your second meet have 3 10-0 start value vaults away on equipment you are not familiar with, that is huge for Minnesota. Put a leg form there at the end. Again, slow motion if we're being picky there. Another example of a sophomore who was not in lineups last year, worked her way into some lineups this year, Zoe Arthur. Her bar routine did not go the way she wanted it to last weekend, so she's looking for her redemption bar routine here too.
A little short on that first handstand.
A little close to the bar there, but was able to pull through.
I think her feet tapped on that.
She's pushing through though. And a stuck landing. Again, not the exact routine she was looking for. Close to the high bar, hit her feet there, missed the handstand, but definitely an improvement from last weekend, and that's what you're looking for. Little improvements every time.
Maya Hooten up next for the Golden Gophers.
She is ranked number 9 in the NCAA for this vault, and you can see why. 9-9 last weekend, and that score should rival, definitely beat that. Reigning Big Ten vault champion. I mean, legs glued together. Perfect. Gorgeous. I have no other words. All the synonyms for amazing.
You don't often see a freshman anchoring a bar lineup, but again, UNH had a very upperclassman heavy bar lineup last season, and so a lot of athletes are needing to step up this year, and that includes Anya Reed. She definitely has more momentum going into this routine than the Wildcats did last week. The judges are conferencing right now on bars, which is what is bringing the delay.
We can confirm that Maya's score was better than last weekend. She scored a 9.95, very well deserved 9.95.
Sort of cool to see a up close and personal look as they're comparing the elements of the routine, checking start value.
You almost expect to see this a little bit more at the beginning of the season, especially this season. There's a little bit more rules in regards to judging. So typically they meet if there is too big of a discrepancy in scoring, and or if the judges have different start values. But this year, if there is an average score that is a 9.8 or higher, and the judges are more than a tenth apart, that also can't happen, so they may meet for that as well. That is not the case here. I'm not sure if it is a start value situation here. It looks like it has been resolved. And we should get on our way with Anya in just a minute. Anya competed 3 events last weekend. She competed vault, bars, floor, and exhibitions on beam. And as I said, earned herself conference honors as Rookie of the Week. Starts with Ginger to an overshoot. think a little bit of form throughout there, finds a nice handstand. I do love Anya's dismount. Oh, I don't think she needed to take that step.
I think she could have attempted to glide into that salute to wrap up that routine.
But a very solid routine, and the Wildcats needed a solid routine, as they did significantly better than last weekend, but they still did have some mishaps earlier on in the lineup, so they needed a hit set, and it's so nice that you can have a freshman step up in that situation. We do have a couple of exhibition routines for New Hampshire. While we are waiting for the score to come in for Anya, let's take a look at Minnesota's unbelievable vault rotation. 4 scores above 9-8 or higher, highlighted, I mean really highlighted by those last 3 vaults of Yurchenko 1.5, 9.825, 9.825, the stuck 9.875 vault as well, and then of course Maya Hooten 9.95. Incredible Yurchenko 1.5 for a team score significantly improved from last weekend of a 49.25. Huge vaults.
Yeah, we've talked about how you just want little improvements, and each one of those athletes received a higher score today than they did last week or previously. So nothing but pretty awesome vaulting from the Golden Gophers.
Which is especially awesome that they're on the road and they were home last weekend, so getting those kinks out. This is our first exhibition routine for New Hampshire. This is sophomore Paulina Maneev. Again, a little close on her release move as well. Nice release move to the low bar.
And the difficulty is there for Paulina. She just needs to clean up form a little bit. Get the chest up.
Yeah, maybe lost steam a little bit there at the end to get through to that dismount, so chest landed a little bit low. But I would anticipate seeing her maybe crack into that lineup here in the next couple of weeks.
A look at UNH's bar scores. Julia had some difficulty, but luckily the Wildcats are able to drop that score. And so we had 3 gymnasts score a 9.7 or better.
And
Serena,
again,
Leah, and Anya, sorry.
That's okay. And again, improvement from pretty much everybody in the lineup. Scores improved, and as we were talking about, that's exactly what you're looking for. Team score went significantly up by over 2 points from last weekend, 48.375. So that is what the Wildcats are definitely wanting to see. Obviously, still some mistakes there that they want to clean up, but improvement is definitely there, and you can see the potential. One more exhibition spot here. This is freshman Stacy Boss. Good release moves there. You can see just a little bit of leg form. Jasmine and I have been looking at each other throughout this lineup. Like, the potential is there, just everything cleaning up and, you know, fixing those little errors. But overall, definitely improvement. And that is going to do it for the second rotation here from the University of New Hampshire. We will come back with highlights and score updates from the second rotation and get ready for our third rotation. Welcome back to the Whittemore Center at the University of New Hampshire. We have finished our second rotation, and the Minnesota Golden Gophers have pulled ahead of the Wildcats. As we get ready for our third rotation here, we're going to look at some highlights from Minnesota's vault.
We see junior Sarah Murat, the second highest scoring vault. A stuck, I'm going to think they gave her the stuck, or gave her the stick, excuse me.
Scored a 9.875 for that vault. And this is Leah Moreno getting the Wildcats back on track after a mishap in the lineup right before her. Again,
beautiful
we talked
lines.
about her lines, yeah, beautiful. Just a little bit of handstands, and then found that dismount. Just what the Wildcats wanted. And then
Maya Hooten, the highlight probably so far of the meet, a beautifully done Yurchenko 1.5 stuck landing 9.95.
And then closing out the bar lineup for the Wildcats is the freshman phenom Anya. Again, the release moves there, just a little bit of form, but finding the dismount here. I've seen video after video of her nailing that dismount, so definitely could have stuck that. Another look at the bar scores. We see that leading the way was Leo Moreno with the 9.75, followed closely by Anya Reed's 9.725 for a team total of 48.375, and the Wildcats have a 97.15 after 2 rotations.
And for Minnesota, I think that Maya's score is projecting wrong, but that is, she led with a 9.95, and the Golden Gophers are in the lead with a 98.3 team total.
And teams are warming up for their third rotation. We will come back and be ready to go with more gymnastics here from the Whittemore Center. Welcome back to the University of New Hampshire, where the Wildcats are taking on the Minnesota Golden Gophers in their home opener. We are getting ready for the third rotation, where UNH is on beam. They will start off with Gwen Ackerbloom, followed by Eagle Rookie Specialist of the Week, Maddie Harvey, McCall McMullen, Cleant Thierret, Annie Chalman, and junior Serena Mullen will close out their beam lineup. For the Gophers on floor, we will start with Marissa Jenks, followed by Megan Steensland, Taryn Crump, Lauren Pearl, Leah Gonzarowski, and Maya Hooten. Both teams have finished their touch rotation. They're going to get together for a quick little pep talk. Quick team score update. As we said, Minnesota is in the lead after 2 with a team score of 98.3 to New Hampshire's 97.15. Both teams making significant improvements. Again, first up for the Wildcats on beam is going to be sophomore Gwen Ackerbloom. Scored a 9.675 last week, but has potential for a big score. Scored as high as 9 nines last year. Interesting series for her acro series. Most people do back handspring step out. She does back handspring 2-foot. I love it. Beautiful leap series there. Great combination there as well. Gwen was another one that worked her way into the beam lineup in the middle of the season last year. And now she's working leadoff. And if you can find that leadoff spot as a sophomore, that's exactly what you want. A little bobble on her series, but the rest of the routine was gorgeous.
Leading off for Minnesota on floor exercise, Marissa Jenks.
Senior Marissa Jenks is up first for the Gophers.
Starts with a front double full, challenging E-level skill.
Really clean gymnast overall. And that combination pass, 1.5 front layout.
And a solid routine to start.
A look at that combination, round off, back 1.5, punch front layout.
And here's a look at freshman Maddie Harvey. Scored a team high 9.825 on this event last week. Earned herself Eagle Specialist, Rookie Specialist of the Week honors, a new award this year. Beautiful 3-element flight series. Looks like a very simple skill, but all athletes are required to do a front or side element on the beam, so that fulfills that requirement. Gorgeous ring jump, incredibly challenging, lifting her head off the beam.
An awesome beam routine again, back-to-back weeks for Maddie Harvey.
Yes, that was a gorgeous beam routine.
Another look at her dismount. Gainer pike. Stuff landing.
Next up on floor exercise for Minnesota, Megan Steensland.
Next up on floor for Minnesota is junior Megan Steensland. on. See that mat on the floor. Totally allowed. Beautiful round off 2.5.
A lot of personality in this routine.
Find yourself just sitting, smiling, watching it. And a great pass there as well. You know, everything about Minnesota's gymnastics today has just been so clean. And that's really, really nice to see so early on in the season.
Next up on balance beam for the Wildcats, McCullen.
Her ending tumbling pass there, 1.5 front layout, beautifully done. And here we are looking at sophomore McCullen. We talked about how hard she worked this summer to really improve and get herself into some lineups. This is one of those lineups that she was not in at all last year as a freshman. Like to see a little bit bigger split there on the switch half. A solid landing. Great fight on that. Her foot was pretty off the side there, and she did not give up.
Good fight on that landing.
She fought through that routine.
Another look at that dismount, round off 1.5, blind landing. Started to stand up a little bit too soon.
Yeah, just hold down there a little bit.
Freshman Taryn Crump up next for Minnesota.
Gorgeous. Definitely popped back out of that landing. And her front foot slides.
Her combination pass, front tuck through to double back.
Much more control on that second landing there. Freshman had herself a meet here today. She is on exhibition for the beam lineup, but all 3 events that she competed here today looked great.
Next up on balance beam for the Wildcats,
Another look at that combination pass as we move to beam, where freshman Cleant Viorette is up. has rhythm to that routine. Could be the background music because it's pumping it up, which I don't know if I would enjoy on balance beam.
Gorgeous lines in that flight series. Just dropped the shoulder at the end, unfortunately off. I wonder if this is her choice. Usually you choose your beam music when it's a dual meet. Maybe she uses it as a rhythm thing. Gorgeous side semi. And a great dismount. Unfortunate fall there early on because the rest of the routine was beautiful. When she hits that, that should be a big score.
Another look at her dismount, aerial to tuck 1.5.
And next up for Minnesota is senior Lauren Pearl.
First pass, round off back 1.5, front layout. A common pass for the Gophers. Common pass for NCAA gymnastics.
Nice jumps there.
I like the drama in this routine. Powerful music.
Gorgeous double pike. Again, did kind of a little pop out of the landing there. Lots of excitement for Lauren's routine here tonight.
Sophomore Annie Chalman is up next. Annie was the Eagle Specialist of the Week last week for this event.
Competes beam and floor. Gorgeous flight series there. Looks like maybe a little different technique in her layout step out. Her legs almost stayed together a little bit longer than you typically see.
Great save on that cat leap front semi.
Yeah, she doesn't look like she wants to give away any tenths or anything.
The dismount, stuck, round off 1.5. A great routine for Annie.
Yeah.
The Wildcats are hanging tough in this event. Not perfect by any means, but also working hard to not give away any extra tenths.
Yeah, they are fighting.
We're getting our first look at sophomore Leah Gonzarowski. She has a career high of a 9.9, but she did not compete last week, so this is her debut for this season. her first pass. I don't know if the flag went up, but she was out of bounds.
Another E-level skill there. Highest level skill that you can do.
Great combination pass. Double back, clean landing on that to finish off the routine for Leah.
Yeah, and with that hard pass early on, and it being her first time competing, you almost expect those little mistakes to happen. She'll go back into the gym and she'll work on keeping that inbounds. It's a very nice routine otherwise.
Serena Mullen up now for the Wildcats on balance beam. This was one of the first lineups that Serena made as she joined the Wildcat team. Good fight.
And as Jasmine was saying, they're definitely not perfect, but fighting through everything. I'm so intrigued by their beam songs. Hop on the landing, but that was a gorgeous beam routine. And the Wildcats needed that with the fall from the freshman, a couple routines before Serena. A hit set, nice job.
Coming up next on floor exercise for Minnesota, Maya Hooten.
Maya Hooten up next on floor for Minnesota.
The show we've all been waiting for. Also starts with a full in. Fought not to move those feet on that landing.
We see some of the crowd dancing along with Maya. Front full, punch through to front pipe. Last pass, double back, no extra foot movements.
Gorgeous. Her floor routine is exactly what NCAA floor is all about. It's so much fun. She doesn't even look like she's working out there. Her incredibly difficult tumbling passes. Everything is beautiful. And then she just looks like she's having so much fun.
Anya Reed doing an exhibition on balance beam for the Wildcats.
Again, Yeah, and she is a freshman competing on 3 other events, exhibitioning on beam, so I'm sure the Wildcats are looking to get her possibly in the beam lineup at some point. Another opportunity for an all-arounder is something you always want to have, especially a young all-arounder. And a great routine. I could definitely see that making the lineup.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is just making sure those leaps and jumps are getting to 180 would be the biggest deduction I saw in that routine. But a great opportunity for another consistent athlete in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Next up on floor exercise from Minnesota, an exhibition performance from Brooklyn, rowing.
This is an exhibition performance from junior Brooklyn Rowry. Another intense floor music choice. Really low on that first front layout, just missed the punch going into her second skill there. Ooh. Definitely not the routine she was looking for. We do have one more exhibition performance from Minnesota on floor. It will be sophomore Sophie Swartzmiller.
As the third rotation finishes up, we can take a look at the Wildcats beam scores. They finished beam with a total of 48.5, with 3 gymnasts scoring 9.7 or better, with Annie Chowman's 9.775 leading the way, followed by Serena and Maddie.
And Minnesota on floor had some really big scores as well. 3 in the 9.8 range, and then Maya Hooten's 9.9 to close them out with a team score significantly improved from last weekend with a 49.15. A great job for the Gophers on floor, and they still have one more performance in that exhibition spot.
Next up on floor exercise, an exhibition performance by Sophie Swartzmiller.
Beautiful first pass there. We talked about the big cheering squad that Minnesota has here tonight and how impressive that is, but it's even more impressive literally for every girl that has competed. They are standing up, they are cheering, they are clapping along, some are even dancing along with the floor routines. They have cheers. It is amazing sportsmanship. It is just so nice to see the school spirit from Minnesota all the way over here in New Hampshire. That is going to do it for our third rotation. We will come back with highlights from the third rotation as we get ready for our final rotation here from Durham, New Hampshire. Welcome back to the University of New Hampshire, the Whittemore Center Arena, where we are heading into our final rotation. The Wildcats taking on the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Looking at the highlights from the third rotation, we had Annie Chalman leading the way for the Wildcats with her fabulous beam performance. That beautiful flight series, stuck dismount fighting for the landing there.
And then we have Lauren Pearl from Minnesota, who really got them underway with some big scores.
The hometown
double
girl.
pike, yeah.
Big cheering squad. Pearl scoring a 9.85 for that floor team. Serena Mullins, beautiful beam routine as well to close out the Wildcat beam lineup. Again, fighting through the entire thing, hop on the landing, didn't take away from the rest of the routine, scoring a 9.725 for her beam routine.
She just said she was really bouncy. And Maya Hooten having an incredible meet today. Big difficulty, clean landings, having a blast.
Jasmine and I think that she deserved a higher score. Minnesota floor scores, again, some awesome scores there. 3 scores in the 9.825, 9.85 range, and Maya Hooten leading the way with a 9.9. A team score of 49.15 gives the Gophers a 147.45 total after 3 events. They are in the lead.
And for the Wildcats, they had to drop 1 score with the fall, but overall, 3 gymnasts scoring 9.7 or higher, with Annie Chalman's 9.775 as the leading score for a team total of 48.5.
And they have a team total of 145.65 going into the last rotation. Both teams are doing their touch warm-up. And we will come back and with the final rotation. Welcome back to the Whittemore Center at the University of New Hampshire, where the Minnesota Golden Gophers are leading the way going into the final rotation. They will take on the balance beam, and the Wildcats will close out their meet on the floor exercise.
So for Minnesota, we will have Emily Cook, Ava Stewart, Sarah Murrah, Jordan Leiden, Lauren Pearl, and Brooklyn Rowry.
And closing out for the Wildcats on floor, we will have Summer Simpkins, McCall McMullen, Paulina Manave, Serena Mullen, Anya Reed, and Annie Chalman. Both teams have finished their touch. They will get together for their one last conversation, get each other pumped up, ready to go here. Again, a quick little update with the scores. Minnesota has a team score of 147.45, and New Hampshire has a team score of 145.65 as we head into this last rotation. High energy meet here tonight. Both teams feeding off that energy, making big improvements, hoping to continue that into the fourth and final rotation.
Feels good to be back in gymnastics season.
We're here.
Grad student Emily Cook is in that leadoff spot for the Gophers, getting started.
Beautiful series, held that for an extra second.
A tricky jump, depending on which way you're turning. Wasn't quite 180 degrees, but made it nonetheless.
Really fought for that landing there to stay on that one leg. An incredibly difficult skill to finish on one leg. She landed in a low squat and really fought for that. And a stuck landing. She started the Gophers last week with a 9.8. You can see why she starts them off. That was a super strong start. As we said, really fought for that one skill there.
Senior Summer Simpkins is up in that leadoff spot for the Wildcats on floor. Double pike to open. She opened up a little bit too early. Great recovery on that second pass.
You could see assistant coach Jasmine there walk by her and kind of give her the head nod like, you okay? And Summer seemingly giving her the head nod back. That opening pass definitely had to jam a little bit.
Last pass, pull. There we go.
Stayed in that tuck as she needed to. And struggled with her floor routine last weekend, so even with the short landing on the first pass, I'm sure that feels good to get under her belt.
A look at Ava Stewart for the Gophers. Ava is ranked number 17 in the NCAA after last week, scoring a 9.875 on balance beam.
Really cool combination there with her front aerial to back handspring swing down. One thing I've noticed about her gymnastics throughout the day today is she just looks so calm. Everything she does, she's very confident, but it just looks so calm. As she closes out a gorgeous beam routine.
We missed the start of her routine, but here is Ava's mount. Very creative. And another look at that gainer layout, full connection, stuck landing.
Scored a 9.875 last weekend, and I don't see where there were many deductions throughout that routine, so.
Next on floor exercise, McCullen.
Next up for the Wildcats, McCullen.
I'm having some difficulties with her floor music. She's making some pretty intense eye contact with the judge too to start.
Take two. Try that again. Beautiful 2.5 punch front for her opening pass.
Beautiful double tuck. Just maybe a little low on the landing there. But a huge improvement for McCall from last year's floor routines. She was in and out of that floor lineup, and that was huge. That was a very nice routine.
Another look at her opening pass. As we now look at Sarah Murat on balance beam for the Golden Gophers. Good fight on her backhand swing step out, layout, step out series. Small step on that landing, but a great routine from Sarah.
Similar to what we said on one of the New Hampshire beam dismounts, just kind of popped up a little early there, but the rest of that routine, she fought through for no errors. Up next for the Wildcats on floor is sophomore Paulina Manave.
Nice opening double pike.
A little low on her chest there. A little form on that second pass. And in that jump series as well.
Last pass. Double tuck. Great routine for Paulina.
Next on balance beam for Minnesota, Jordan Leiden.
Sophomore Jordan Leiden up next on balance beam. Really difficult wolf turn there. Strong series as well. Another stuck landing for the Gophers.
Similar to what we were saying about New Hampshire's beam, just fighting through everything, even just the smallest little balance checks, keeping them super minimal so there's no major deductions. Closing out her all-around competition today is junior Serena Mullen.
Serena has definitely grown as a gymnast and performer over the years. Her personality has come out more and more. An awesome jump combo there.
combination tumbling pass there. Closes out her day. A very, very nice all-around competition for the junior.
And wrapping up her meet today is Lauren Pearl.
Gorgeous.
Really nice leap combination there, hitting that 180 degrees that the judges are looking for. There's some momentum building for the Minnesota Golden Gophers on balance beam.
I love how her arms are pulled back in everything. It makes everything look very polished and finished.
Small hop on that landing, but a wonderful routine for Lauren, showing up for her most likely extra fans in the crowd since she is from Massachusetts.
You could see some of them in the background throughout that routine, sitting in the stands, just clapping throughout the whole routine, very excited to see her perform. There is a judges conference on floor. It looks like one judge does have a lower start value. So they are trying to figure out what is going on there, while again, it is freshman Anya Reed that has to wait for them to conference. Anya scored a 9.8 last weekend on floor. Became somewhat of a gym tournament sensation. Her first tumbling pass, she does a round off double layout. Does not do a back handspring. Incredibly challenging to do. And she impressed some people. Judges have finished their conference and have headed back, and we should get started. In just a moment. Quick look at the unofficial scores so far. Tumbling pass coming right here. Incredible.
It's impressive.
having some fun with her choreography as well.
Some throwback floor music.
Great combination pass there. Get it, girl. Such a fun routine. A great job for the freshman.
Junior Brooklyn Rowry, Rowry is up now for the Gophers.
She will close out their beam lineup. Just kind of second guessed herself on that landing there, was super solid and had a minor little bobble. Gorgeous splits there in that jump pass. Very solid front toss.
Beautiful switch side.
Again, just kind of second guessing herself in the landings and adding little bobbles. A unique dismount to finish, a gainer front full, and that is an excellent meet for Minnesota. They improved their team score tremendously. We will go over scores in just a minute, but super solid 6 beam scores for Minnesota, and they will be very happy with that road performance today.
Sophomore Annie Chalman up next. Last week she scored a 9.825, anchoring the Wildcats on floor.
Starts with the front double full, done nicely. One and a half to layout step out. She might have a career in performance in her
Annie
future.
has a big personality.
She is putting on a full show. That was great. A great job. And again, similar to Minnesota, the Wildcats will be very pleased with their performance. Still some mistakes, but that will close out their day significantly improved from their first meet. This is an exhibition routine from Sophia Wynn for Minnesota on B. A little shaky. Take a deep breath. Finished strong. A little shaky up there, but was able to get through that routine. And we will have a couple exhibition performances from both teams here to close out our night before we go over scores.
Next up on floor exercise for the Wildcats is an exhibition performance for Stacy Moss.
Exhibitioning for the Wildcats on floor, this is freshman Stacy Boss.
Great opening pass.
Difficult second tumbling pass there with the front double full. Nice for the freshman to get some experience there, and that is a great floor routine.
Next on balance beam for Minnesota, an exhibition performance from Taryn
Taryn
Crump.
Crump doing her exhibition routine on balance beam. Again, another opportunity for a future all-arounder for the Golden Gophers. A lot of power is what took her off the beam there. Big difficulty there with a combination to back layout step out. Just needs to sort of bend and control some of these landings a little bit more, but definitely someone that the Gophers can use in the lineup.
We talked about that all-around position too, how she competes on 3 other events, and Minnesota does not have anybody compete in the all-around, so it is something that maybe they would want to try her in the all-around at some point.
Next up for the Wildcats on floor exercise is an exhibition performance for Julia B4.
And to close out our night here, we are going to finish with an exhibition performance with Julia before.
And before we get to Julia, we will have a judges conference.
As a reminder, fans, immediately following the meet, we'll have the awards.
And so while that's happening, we'll be able to take a look at the official scores for
Minnesota closed their rotation, closed their meet on beam with a very solid performance of a 48.925, highlighted by Ava Stewart's 9.8 and Jordan Leiden's 9.825 to give them a team total of 196.375.
And for UNH, wrapping up their meet on floor, we had Summer Simpkins lead off with a 9.55, and then some really strong performances from McCall McMullen, Paulina Maneve, Serena Mullen, Anya Reed, and Annie Shellman, both the last two with 9.85s to wrap up the Wildcats with a team total of 48.9.
And they came in second place with a 194.55. Huge improvement from last weekend. So they will be pleased with that score. Judges have finished their conference. We will watch the exhibition performance. Julia staying loose before her routine. And as we said, both teams definitely still have some areas for improvement. But overall, for both teams to improve by over 2 points in their second meet of the season, Minnesota being on the road. That was a great meet here tonight.
Too much power there for Julia. She had great height on that double pike. Just stayed in it a little bit too long. Great fight on that double back.
That was our final competitor of tonight's meet. Teams, please prepare for the award ceremony on the floor exercise mat. It'll begin in just a few moments.
Again, that will do it for us here today, where Minnesota came away with the win with a team total of 196.375 to UNH's 194.55. Join us next on Sunday, January 26th, when the Wildcats take on Eagle opponent LIU at 2 p.m. Thanks for tuning in.
had a Mustang and now I'm first class, up in the sky, popping champagne, living my life in the fast lane. I won't change by the glamorous, ooh, flowers, the glamorous, glamorous, by the glamorous, ooh, flowers, the glamorous, by the glamorous, ooh, flowers.
I'm talking champagne witnesses, caviar dreams. You deserve nothing but all the finer things. Now this whole world has no clue what to do with us. I got enough money in the bank for the two of us. Plus I gotta keep enough lettuce to support your shoe fetish lifestyle. So rich and famous, Robin Leach will get jealous. $500,000 for the stove. Taking trips from here to Rome. So if you ain't got no money, take your broke home.
I got problems up to here. I got people in my ear telling me these crazy things that I don't want to know. I got money in the bank and I really like to thank all the fans. I like to thank you really though. 'Cause I remember yesterday when I dreamt about the days when I rock on MTV. It really told me.
All right, fans, to begin the award ceremony, the UNH Wildcat Gymnastics program presents, as they do every home meet, the Katie Baldwin Expression Award, established by the program in memory of Katie Baldwin. The Katie Baldwin Expression Awards presented to the gymnast who best exemplifies the team spirit, performance artistry, and personality of Katie Baldwin. We are pleased to present today's Katie Baldwin Expression Award to Anya Reed. And now we'll recognize our top individual performers for today's meet. Gymnasts, as we read your name, please stand to be recognized by our crowd. We'll begin with vault, where there was a three-way tie for third place with matching scores of 9.825. From the University of Minnesota, Ava Stewart. Also from the University of Minnesota, Taryn Crump. And from the University of New Hampshire, McCall McMullen. Finishing second on vault with a 9.875 from Minnesota, Sarah Mora. And the winner of vault today with a score of 9.95 from the University of Minnesota, Maya Hooten. Now on even bars, there was a two-way tie for second place with a 9.825 from the University of Minnesota, Maya Hooten. Also from the Golden Gophers, Ava Stewart. And the winner of on even bars today with a score of 9.875 from the University of Minnesota, Jordan Leiden. Balance beam. There was a three-way tie for third. The score was 9.775. From the University of Minnesota, Brooklyn Rowry. From the University of Minnesota, Sarah Mora. And from the University of New Hampshire, Annie Chalman. Second place on beam with a 9.8 from Minnesota, Ava Stewart. And topping the podium on beam today with a score of 9.825 from Minnesota, Jordan Leiden. Now the top performers on floor exercise. A three-way tie for second place with a 9.85. First, from Minnesota, Lauren Pearl. From the University of New Hampshire, Annie Chalman. Also from UNH, Anya Reed. And the winner of floor exercise today with a score of 9.9 from the University of Minnesota, Maya Hooten. And now for our top all-around performers. In third place today with a score of 38.225 from Minnesota, Taryn Crump. In second place with a score of 38.875 from the University of New Hampshire, Serena Mullen. And today's all-around champion with a score of 38.925 from the University of New Hampshire, Anya Reed. Now it's time to recognize the team scores. We ask each member of the team to stand and be recognized. In second place today, with a score of 194.55, the University of New Hampshire Wildcats. And the winner of tonight's meet, with a score of 196.375, the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers. Fans, thank you so much for attending tonight's meet. We'll see you back for Alumni Day at Lundholm Gym on Sunday, January 26th at 2 o'clock against LIU. For now, get ready for the autograph session on the concourse, and then please arrive home safely.